TSi 2v the world. And I say the world, it's not the world. Basically, it's Ping, Callaway, and TaylorMade against TSi 2. There's plenty of other drivers that could be included in this test as well. I get that. I've got my Strixon ZX5, ZX7, Cobra, and if you want to see me compare any of these to other ones, just post in those comments and let me know which ones. Obviously, there's a little bit of a limit in one test of how many videos or how many drivers I can actually hit. So we're going to compare G410 Plus, Callaway Maverick, TaylorMade Sim to TSi 2. Does it stand up with the bigger players out there? Does it hold its own? Or does it even beat it? Let's find out. So let's start with looks. We've got a bit of everything down there, haven't we? Obviously the grey to white in the Sim, very striking. Then TSi 2 is, as you would imagine, which is very similar to the Callaway, so it's all blacked out, but the Callaway you do have the carbon, the same as the TSi coming, as the Sim coming through on top.
The lipstick around the edge.
Yeah, and that little, the bits around the outside, which you don't get on the Ping and the TSi 2. And the Ping is in its matte finish, quite striking, and then obviously Dragonfly turbulators, all the bits on top really do stand out. Most stretched back are definitely those two for me, TSi 2 and the Ping.
Yeah.
The Callaway Maverick is nice and round, and then
teardroppy, that
one. The Sim definitely is much more stretched back out in this toe area.
Like there's not a lot in the heel, is there?
No, it's like quite sharp and then goes away. But yeah. I do think the Sim has the best shop appeal. I really do.
I think, well, like you've always said, you take them in the high street and you tell someone to pick one, they're probably going to pick that one.
It's like Nike, isn't it? It's a standout looking brand.
Yeah. Titleist is just classic.
Classic,
a bit in the middle,
semi-classic. That stands out, but it stands out in a design way more than so function.
Most visible tech, isn't it?
When you're
looking from this end.
And isn't it similar that they're all talking so much about aerodynamics now, where obviously these guys, I remember when we went to the Ping factory, they showed us this years ago. Mm-hmm. And already trying to push aerodynamics on. Again, I always think Ping are the Mercedes.
Yeah.
So like what you see in a Ping next year, everyone else will start seeing that in about 2-3 years time, it almost feels. Right, so let's collect some numbers, which will show you to see if there's a standout performer. I'm going to chop and change between the two before we do a challenge test later with it as well. And we're also going to look at the tech. Ping to start us off. And it feels, I think the thing with the Ping for me is it feels firm. Like it stands out as a firm sounding club. And I don't mind the visual tech on top. I actually quite like it. It frames up the ball quite nicely. It points me in a direction as well, which I could easily game this club, no problem. Sits lovely and square. Comparing that up to the Maverick, Maverick definitely stands out as a much more classic Callaway. Love the V, like the carbon shooting through. I like the darkness of the face, so it's like a dark grey face, which I like, and then the black top looks good. I do really like these Align grips that they put as standard on these as well. Obviously you could get them fitted for any other club in theory. And you definitely hear the carbon. So there's a distinct sound difference in Maverick to the Ping. Ping feels more pingy. This now feels more like you're hitting it with a lump of carbon with a bit of titanium in it. It's that duller sound, which I quite like. And I don't think it's even that I like one over the other. It's more that I expect a Ping to sound the way a Ping sounds, and I expect a carbon top club to sound how it sounds. So it's coming out. What's coming out is what I expect, which is quite a nice thing. A little bit out of the bottom, but still a good feel on that one. And again, sits beautiful down by the ball. So TSi 2 definitely does venture into the most stretched back out of all of them. So it is really wanting to pull back, like a little bit like the Sim as well, which I think will appeal to people who want like the most friendly looking driver they can get their hands on. Again, sits nice and neutral down by the ball, and a definitely improved shaping than the TS2, I think, because they have calmed the straightness of the toe down. And again, this one sounds very pure titanium, bit tingier, bit more of a explosive sound. I mean, I would say out of all of them, maybe this is the loudest sound. And you've got to remember there's TSi 3 as well if you want a different sound. But yeah, it's definitely got a bit more of a louder pitch to it. I like the TSi logo at the top, which is a change obviously for Titleist. Does again sit beautifully neutral down by the ball. Oh, it does feel good. I hit that wow, but it is definitely the louder. Not loud, just the louder. Saying that, it's probably on a par with the Ping almost. So the Sim, I think it's horses for courses. I love the look of the Sim. I could easily game the look of it. Definitely is a lot more out in the toe, maybe a bit more than I would want to see, but it's just the grey to the white to the black face does look super cool. Again, this one's probably Titleist and Ping sounding, firm. Always get good ball speeds with TaylorMades. Yeah, it does sound solid, it sounds good. When it comes to the looks as well, like if you haven't got any expectations of what you want a club to look like, then this isn't gonna look different because you've got nothing to compare it to as such, to something that you kind of aspire it to look like. For me, it definitely looks more like heavy in the toe, so that's something I would have to deal with. But if the shots come out and the fit numbers are good, like that's what's gonna make me deal with that with no problem at all. Yeah, so I would say you got two slightly duller, or one definitely duller, sorry, in the Callaway, and then three, the others all sounding, feeling almost the same. It's the Callaway's the outstander in a different sound. If that's better or worse, obviously so personal preference. I like them all. The Callaway has the most unique sound stroke feel. The other three are very, very close blindfolded. I don't reckon we would see much in them. Right, so let's talk tech. Matthew over there by 4 meters.
Hello.
We're talking tech, Matt. Let's start with the faces. ATI on TSi.
ATI 425 face insert, so it's high strength, toughness and high elasticity.
Yeah, so they're trying to keep CT up against the face. They call it an insert, but it's actually all the face. So the whole face is one face, big face insert. It's the face, but anyway. Twist face. Similar ideas.
Injected twist face, so foam bringing it back to tolerance.
So they were the first really to do that as well. So Titleist are following you could argue, not with the same technology, but the same outcome, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got AI face, flash face, which I can see here on the Maverick.
FS2S titanium, extremely strong material, but 6 grams lighter.
Okay, and Ripley on the inside with their AI supercomputer design. And I think we've got a forged face in the Ping. They call it a forged for precision milling, do they?
Yeah, T9S Plus precision machine forged face. Oh God, undergoes patented heated treatment process. A lot goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're all chasing one thing, which is ball speeds, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're all chasing that kind of like legal limit across as much of that face as possible. Aerodynamics, I know TSI is talking aerodynamics, something like 15% more than its one prior, I think. Sim definitely talking aerodynamics with the wing out the back, and you mentioned a little bit on the low profile of it later on in the video, actually. Maverick, are they talking aerodynamics with Maverick, actually? I'm sure they are.
Yes, I think they are. They've got the Cyclone Aero shape.
Okay, so they're all shaping, and obviously the guys who really led this charge, I would say, certainly visually, Ping, Turbulators on Dragonfly and wherever they are, I lose track of what they call it now, but it's very visual aerodynamic gains they're trying to grab, which is obviously, they're all chasing club head speed gains for you.
Faster head speeds.
Yeah. All very similar head sizes, but obviously slightly different stretches in different places. All got changeable necks, some more than others. Ping may be the most subtle.
I think the Callaway's the best though, and people are going to dig me for that, but
yeah, it's because it doesn't change the grip around, does it?
Change the grip, and the shaft stays in the same direction too, so you don't get the label twisting around it and stuff. So.
But definitely all can dial into what you want, and then you would get your grip fitted second if you were fitted and those kind of ideas. But then if you do go and change it, like Matt's right, I do agree with that.
You do have the round grip on the Titleist too, don't you? So that will
it does
help.
still slightly move out, like even just the way the logo at the tops on the top of the grip is now slightly different. I look down at it sometimes and think, oh, is it? No, it's just the way the neck is. TSi2 is fixed weights. You can get variations bought, but they're fixed. Sim has a sliding bar at the front, so you've got your changeability on weights there. Maverick have no weights, but you got to remember have got 3 heads, so you can get this in a draw and a max, I think.
Yeah.
So it is, they've just got 3 variations of the head, where Sim, you get variations on the head as well. They're giving you that variation in. Titleist obviously have TSi 3, which does give you a bit of variation on the back, but it's a very different club, really, I think, in looks, and certainly. And then Ping, we actually got the sliding weight on for the first time for them, which I was actually surprised that ever came, but you've got your dialability in with the sliding weight as well. Then we got titanium and titanium-y, 2 drivers, and then very carbon heads, tops looking on the Callaway and Sim. And then obviously you've got unique things. You've got jailbreak in Maverick that doesn't appear in anything else, strengthening bars from top to bottom, trying to keep ball speeds up across the face and strengthen it. Titleist say they've also improved MOI bottom to top, so any twisting this way, so it's, I guess, similar ideas to what Maverick is trying to do. And Sim also obviously has the twist face, so you've got the speed injection face, which is on a par with what all they're trying to do, but you've got the different curvature on the face, trying to allow you to bring shot shapes in, those kind of ideas. One of the most noticeable differences out of all of them is how much for me testing, I have to brutalize the Sim. So I have to put the weight very much in the heel, otherwise it's a fade machine, and I have to set the neck to the most upright, because it does lie very flat compared to the others. So I'm glad it's got the dialability in it, because I'm using it, which I don't need to use on the others. That's not a good or bad thing, that's just something I've noticed. So when it comes to tech, Matt, they're teched up, aren't they?
A lot going on in them. Will that make them perform any different?
I think it will add to the cost, won't it?
Well, yeah, that's a big thing. Should we have a look at the cost?
Let's
now
do the
you
cost.
said that?
We've got no price for TSi, because at the point of filming this video, this one is not released, but I can guess what it's going to recommend retail at. We'll come to the end maybe and do that. So Sim, or where do you want to start, Matt? You tell me.
Should we go low to high?
Yeah, tell me.
So lowest price is the Ping.
Yeah.
379.
379 Ping, great value for a club that's quite impressive.
Then we go up, tailor-made.
To Sim.
429.
429. Matt's just pulling these off a competitive website. These are UK pounds. He's quoting prices here to do your equations for wherever you are. 429.
429, £50 jump up there to the
Yep.
tailor-made. And then we go 449 for the Maverick.
449 for Maverick.
Yeah.
So I am going to guess recommended retail of 450. Well, recommended retail isn't actually, I reckon it'll retail at around 450. Might come in at 479 at a guess, maybe point of this video they've been released, or they haven't actually, it's just the media release that you'll see.
479, you think, for the Titan?
Well, I don't know. No, because basically my point with that is that recommended retail is never what it sells for.
Okay, what do you think it's going to sell for?
It'll be 450 surely. It'll be in with all of them, because I reckon they all started close to that.
Yeah.
And because you got to remember, clubs, they're not all aging at the same time. You know, Maverick's what, a few months old. Sims, I can't remember now, year old.
Yeah, probably.
And G410's easily a year old.
Yeah.
So they're sliding, and then they'll come out. You know, that's how it works, isn't it? So I mean, I'm not seeing value in the price. And maybe post in the comments down below. I'll do a video. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. Where at what point does price affect performance, or does it not? And we can test drivers at different price points, and at what point do we see a flick over in performance, or at the end of the day, are we just paying so much for branding, I guess? Let me know down there what you think. Right, the game, Matt, you get one shot, well, you get 2 shots of each club.
If needed.
Okay, and you got to hit the fairway, 18th here at Pebble Beach. If you hit, you can gamble though. So let's say I hit one 270 down the middle at the fairway, but I think I can hit the next one further. I'll hit another, but then the second shot must count.
Okay.
Okay, so we're both going to hit the Ping, both going to hit the Callaway and see which one. So we're playing basically 4 holes with a mulligan on each hole if we want to take it.
And we are wiping grips down between.
And we're wiping between, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Ping. Oh, I cut it. It's not going to hit the fairway. Right, so that's gone. 255 carry, total distance 272, and it hit the fairway.
Keeping?
I'm going to have one more go.
Oh, don't waterball it. Ocean ball, that is. That's not a lake, that's an ocean. Do not hit it in there.
Because if I didn't cut that, that's going 290.
All ifs and buts. Is this new swing or like...
Yeah, this is different grip. This is like very weird for me.
Right hand doesn't look very weak, strong.
It gets there. There you go, that's a ripper.
He's gambled.
That's a ripper! Yeah, that's such a good line as well.
Oh, don't miss the fairway. Oh.
If we both miss the fairway, it's the longest.
Fine.
On that shot. 288 fairway. 288 fairway!
You've been hitting all morning too.
No, I haven't. Just hit the ball,
108 speed. Bloody, I do that sitting down.
You do. But can you hit the fairway, sir?
Probably not. Let's give it a go though. Towed it.
That's an ocean ball. That's up there as well. Oh,
I'll play my second. Look at the carry on that.
Nearly 300 carry is that?
No, it's not that far.
Oh, it's total distance, sorry. Yeah. Carry was 292. Yeah, it was, because you only rolled 2 yards because you hit the water. It skipped. So you just need to hit the fairway. You're winning every time on distance, unless I hit some wild thing.
Just too much toe on that. Perhaps
Strike-wise?
Yeah. Aim down the right a bit more too. Oh, it's a bomb again. No.
No, that's ocean. That's one up for me.
That's massive. Kick off the rock. Oh, no, wrong way.
What was that carry?
306.
Oh, that's 308.
That might be slightly downhill then,
yeah, that's got elevation and stuff on it.
306 on there. 1-0.
Sim.
Sim's up next, is it?
A butchered sim.
Yeah.
But a sim. Good. If I get this one often comes out the longest. Yeah, that's
Oh, no.
Just stay right, because it kicks left there.
That's
Don't you
fine.
dare miss that
That's
fairway.
fine. Oh, that's long.
It's longer than the ping.
300
spin.
fairway.
Oh, yeah.
Stick in.
277 carry.
Stick in.
299. Sticking. I just think it's a great combination of the strokes gained that you're going to see on the distances in a second when we show you the numbers for all of these. Because obviously your 300-yard carry, I would pay for that. But look at that. Look at those two. If there were two lines there, that's where I'm going to try and excel, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just going for beef balls, really.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. That's as hard as I can hit it, unfortunately.
Oh, I've skied it.
Don't be past me on a sky.
I've skied it.
Oh, you're just going in the fairway.
I'll take that.
That's your straightest shot and it's a total sky. 204 carry.
I guess this club is more shallow, isn't it?
It's the shallower of the three, I think.
Yeah, so maybe a pink tee would do me better.
Yeah, just there, look. The pinks are there.
No, I'm sticking. It's fine.
You're going to hit up smasher.
Just adjust, you know, with technique and skill.
That's not fairway.
No.
That's 2-0.
God, it's going to have to rely on the Titleist and the Callaway, aren't I?
You have to rely on a wider fairway, sir. Maybe we should go to a different hole. This is the beauty as well. Look at your carry, 269 there. So with all your speed, like club 120, my club was 109, but because the delivery is in place, like there are gains. I just think for amateurs, but when we talk about hitting it longer and stuff, people get a little frustrated because, like, you know, I get it. If you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s and your full-time jobs and kids, I can't get fast, I ain't got time, and I get all that, I get all that. But look at the gains Matt has got, like, for a bit of dedicated practice time on delivery. And, you know, there's plenty of guys and women that I've taught who are strong enough and get good speed, but then get awful out. So it's not like I have to get quicker because I can't do much more. My delivery's like...
You're delivering pretty much perfect.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So I've got one option, but I think golfers have so many. Right, TSI 2. Fiddle, fiddle, just trying to get myself comfortable with this weirdness.
All right, Sergio.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, no.
It's not as I'm gambling because it's not fair and it's puffy and horrible. So there's my delivery chat. It's brilliant. Like,
Yeah.
that's a 254 carry, which is obviously 3,000 spin. It's my fastest club.
Yeah.
Right, better delivery that speed. Oh, it's a toe. Hit fairway.
Hit the
That's
tree.
all I've got.
Come back.
Yeah, that's
Hit the
fairway.
tree.
That's
Hit
fairway.
The tree. Hit the tree.
Run under
Hit it. Yes.
Oh no! Hit the tree. You saw 272 fairway, still a winner.
This does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's classic, isn't it?
It's just fun.
I always think it's like the reliability with companies like Titleist and Ping.
Yeah.
They let everyone else get on with trying to reinvent the wheel and they just keep bringing out solid equipment. Is that fairway? No. You'll go through it.
Will kick the left.
No, you've hit it. That's good.
Get past. Yes.
Yes, he's
Yes.
won. You don't need
I'll
to hit
stick.
another.
I'll
Sticky,
stick.
sticky, stew.
2-1.
So you took a bit of speed off that.
Yeah, I
118.
did. I just tried to hit fairway there.
169 ball speed, and then you came down to a 271 carry.
Yeah.
Was it spinning lots for you?
Yeah,
3.5.
it was spinning a lot.
So
When warming up a little bit, this one was spinning a bit, so I would think about a different loft if it was
but
me,
you would be 3 as well, more. I think.
Yeah.
Right, Matt's taking the honour with his club, nearly his club. You can grab your one if you want. You want to use your shaft? Go and grab yours.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll wipe
mine's a max though.
Oh yeah,
mine's
so
a
don't. Yeah,
max.
let's not cheat. I'll just wipe that one down. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to fudge the rules
Yeah,
and
no, I
stuff.
hear you. I
and
forgot
if I win, you'll say
forgot you were game improvement
you were using the max. Right, I'm going to go for one for my first.
This is your flying the flag. Just mad ice in the water.
Damn it!
That's
down the
huge.
right is massive.
Yeah, that is huge. So it's a 310 carry that. 1, 2, 3 club.
Like literally the
311 carry.
Yeah. The
Not getting much roll on that, man.
I've had
just aim
3
down the
there,
right
haven't
and
I?
do that.
I've had 3 there.
It's a 169 club. It shows you how fast Ryan's
Ball.
going. Sorry, ball, 169 ball. How fast Ryan's going at 185, isn't it?
But I also think that
Because that's you fullish tilt without being completely warm.
yeah.
But
Like I think that's high toe again, so I could get 170s ball there.
Yeah.
Quite easily.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Aim right and send it, sir.
Yeah, because my tailor-made one and Ping one were all there, weren't they?
Yeah.
If I started them down the right,
Yeah,
I'd
you just
have
don't
been
want to
fine.
block this. That's what you're scared of. I have to chip it onto that fairway to win if this. Oh,
Stay there.
Oh no.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah. That's off the fairway. Kick left. No, that's so good.
That's 2-all.
Yeah, that's a draw.
329, 310.
Wowzers. 174 ball.
There you go. A bit more centred. Still a
330.
little bit high.
330 total. Good luck, Mark. Right. Thanks. I'm going 10 finger.
330 fairway ball.
Well, it's not that. Yeah, 330 total, isn't it? Oh, I towed it.
Tree ball.
Towed it.
Middle stumped
I
it
reckon
again.
it's just a
Again,
bit-
look. Oh! Foot away.
I'm trying to draw it off that tree. It's 290. 271's good. That's a 111 club. A strike with that, and I'm there. As in, I'm not there, but I'm there. Right, this is a token shot. I think what's interesting with the test as well, which is great, which we'll look at the numbers in a second, is like it's so player specific, shot specific, isn't it? They're all really much of a muchness, aren't they?
Yeah.
Till I bomb this one, 350 past, yeah, ouch. No, not the strike.
I'm pretty confident with this one.
No, I just wanted to turn one to get one at least.
Middle stump. Yeah!
tree.
You could literally be a bowler from 280 out, couldn't you? Bang!
Giving him. 267k. 112 club for me, but Matt, excellent drive there. Really, really impressed. Shall we go and have a look at the real numbers? So let's look at the numbers. We're going to drill down into the numbers in a slightly different way. So hopefully this helps. We're going to look at distances and other things because we've got some strokes gain numbers here. So we're looking at left and right first, Matt.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
TSi 2 was the straightest.
On average.
The sim was the straightest dispersion of the group, which is good.
Tightest
I'm impressed.
dispersion, yeah.
They were tight, weren't they?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
followed by the ping, then followed by the by the TSi 2. And then the Callaway Maverick was, for me, these are my numbers, was the widest left and right, which we'll look at that in a bit more detail as we go on. Ball speeds.
Callaway, top of the pot.
Yeah, so look, Callaway
Close.
does get fast, but so is the sim and so is the TSi 2. It's the ping that comes out that fraction slower, but again, look at the ping and the sim. Ball speed's really, really tight, so getting a consistent ball speed out of there, which is great. And then obviously the Callaway does have a couple of really fast ones in there. So even though it was the widest, would I possibly try and dial into that extra ball speed? And we'll see what that equates to on carry in a second. Possibly because I would feel on a bigger data capture set that maybe I could control direction. That's something you would work with your fitter in your own mind, I think. But also I think TSi is standing up, the new club that we're comparing to, like it's standing up with the crowd, isn't it?
Yeah, like you look at the averages, it's 1-2 miles an hour difference isn't it, between all four.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you're talking minimal sort of stuff, but again, why would you give up maybe that speed if you've got it in a club? So
yeah, it's hitting target with it as well, isn't it? Which we'll come to in a second because we've got strokes gained, which will kind of free dimension these numbers. So let's go to carry. How far is it going through the air? And you can see the Callaway definitely starts to push the boundaries on distance, doesn't it?
yeah, look at those ones at the top there on the left, like a couple of long balls.
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
absolutely. Ping and TSi 2 very similar. Again, look how tight ping is.
Ping is crazy
Consistently in the same place, so impressive.
Yeah.
And sim is also impressive, getting a few long ones. I got the one long one with the TSi 2 as well. But again, it's disappointing that the sim has such variation considering those ball speeds were all really, really close. Again, it's what you dial into. Like they're all winning and they're all losing, aren't they? Subject to what you feel you did on the tests and what you would want. You want the potential distance, you want the consistency. You know, it's horses for courses and what you're buying into. There's a few the TSi 2 was the highest back spinning of all of them, but it was still under 2,500, and the lowest spinning was the Maverick. Again, that's why I think it got those low spinning and some decent ball speeds. That's why you see those bigger carries in there.
Yeah.
You could argue you could dial in a bit more to find those 200 revs in different fitting options as well. If you're that way to really dial down into them, they're similar enough for me. Look again how tight the ping is.
Yeah,
it's hilarious how just consistent that ping club is, isn't it?
And that's like just shows how tight it is for that carry distance as well, doesn't it? Like those consistencies in the spin just add on to that consistency in the carry distance.
Absolutely, and also I think the TSI's relative, like the two most inconsistent, well certainly the sim on this test, and then the Maverick and TSI similar, maybe Maverick a little bit more varied. But I think you've got the other companies are shouting about consistency so much, aren't they? They're like quite loud shouters about what they're doing to keep ball speeds up, blah, blah, blah. But Ping just sit there going, we're consistent. We're just consistent. We don't have to shout about it. It's interesting though, isn't it? They're that's so interesting how that comes out. Right, let's look at the strokes gained. So strokes gained, just so we're clear. So this is now measuring how far down I've hit the ball, and also then in turn if I've hit the fairway, missed it, and how much I've missed the fairway from. So we've got three categories. We've got no fairway bunkers on this fairway. We've got fairway, then we've got a portion of rough, and then if I miss that portion of rough, we call it recovery. So we're going to be losing shots as we hit recovery, losing shots a little less in the fairway, and gaining or losing less shots if we hit the fairway compared to the rough. So we're not only looking at how far can we smash it down that range, we're looking at left and right together with it. And the biggest gainer out of all four of those clubs is the Ping G410. Each shot gains 0.4. This is against a Tour Pro, so this is my numbers against a Tour Pro. So gaining anything there's comedy. Followed by the Sim at 0.02, followed by the TITLEIST TSi 2, 0.01, and then the Callaway loses 0.14. Obviously the Callaway has the chance to gain because it was the longest, but if they're not hitting the fairway, I would need to evaluate if that is something that I think is me or the club. Personally, it's me. Like on the data capture here, I hit however many shots I hit like like kind of 60 shots or whatever it was, you're going to hit X amount offline. Try and hit it the distance I was trying to hit it. It just happened to happen, I think 2 of them with the Callaway. Or you would test more and think, no, I keep doing that, I don't want that club. Again, that's where you and your fitter would work well together. What do you think of those numbers, Matt?
I just think it's so interesting when we were doing it, trying to guess which one was going to come out on top. And I think that we both thought that the Ping was going to be the loser. And it's the
I
winner.
totally agree. I totally agree with that.
I feel like this strokes gaining when you are testing clubs is going to be such an eye-opener if you start doing it. Because
Well,
I wouldn't have put those 4 in that order.
I couldn't agree more with you. When we were doing the test, it felt like the Titleist was the straightest and the Ping was pretty like decent, but nothing to shout about. And the Sim and the Callaway were like screaming at me. And I do really wonder how wrong we've been getting it.
Yeah.
Because that screaming that those companies do in their marketing and in their words and their faces and their aerodynamics and their tolerances just bleeds into our mental numbers a little bit. And then measuring how far we're whacking it down a sim without then measuring it on a fairway is possibly why so many people are like, why can I hit it in the fit and then I take it out on the course and it's not as good? I get that comment a lot. Well, maybe it's because we're not actually measuring it properly. Like the Ping just is a standouter at a cheaper price, isn't it?
And I think it's, I think Bryson said it, didn't he, when the commentator asked him what he's going to go and work on before the final round of the US Open. He said his reality.
Yeah.
And I think just taking emotions out of when you're buying clubs, it's hard because you're going to look at the look and go, oh, I like that and the sound of it. But like these numbers just show certain things, don't they? And it is reality.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think the thing that's really interesting, like if you're buying a new driver because you want to lower your scores, you might look at it more this way. If you're buying a new driver because you just simply want a new driver, you don't like the look and feel of your other one and you want something new, you're treating yourself, then this isn't that important. Because look how close they are, and it's on a data set, which is pretty average for most people's fits, but certainly not average for what you're going to do in the year. And unfortunately, there's a part of me that thinks you can't actually because they're so similar, you can't actually do a test the way I think the internet world thinks it wants a test to be done.
Yeah.
Because it's just not, they're so tight on tolerances that it's not going to come out. You're going to have to hit so many, which meant, the year will be over by the time you've done your test and there'll be a new model out.
Another one come out.
Yeah. So I mean, really interesting. The Ping basically lost on one shot. When I look at the group of shots, it lost nearly a shot on one, and then it gained on everything else. Sim lost on two shots, gained on everything else. Maverick lost on 4 shots, gained on everything else, and the Titleist lost on 2 shots, gained on everything else. So you can see how tight those tolerances are. What had the biggest gain? Which club had the 1-shot biggest gain? That would be interesting. I'm seeing the Callaway Maverick Max
A 121.
Sorry,
0.21. Yeah.
The Callaway Maverick Max.
Yeah.
Or the Callaway Maverick, sorry, not the Max. Followed by a 0.21 on the Sim.
Same on the Sim.
And that's what's so interesting. I think this is where we get it so wrong, isn't it? And where our egos take over. So obviously the Sim and the Maverick both had those standout hits.
Maverick had 3 standouts too.
Yeah, calm down over there.
3 bad ones though as well.
But the Ping just consistently went, I'm all right, I'm all right, I'm all right. But our brains latch on to that, that month where we earn $2,000 more than we normally earn. And then you wouldn't budget around that, would you?
No.
That's not what you earn. You just had a bonus that year, and maybe something you didn't even do that the team did. Like if you started budgeting around that, you'd go broke pretty quick. But we do buy golf clubs around that a little bit, I think. So super interesting on those. Pretty tight on all of those. So does TSi2 stack up to what's out there? Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It stacks up comfortably. Does it beat what's out there? I don't think you can beat what's out there nowadays. It might beat for you, but I don't think you can you, Matt?
Everyone's pushing limits, aren't they? And you're only allowed to go up to those limits, so that's that.
Yeah, so I think it's just a really good driver, and if you're looking at getting a driver, it's going to fall it. There's lots of really good ones, but they've certainly produced something that's as solid and as good as anything with tight tolerances. Because that's the thing, the 2 standouts for me were the 2 that didn't stand out for me. Like those two stood out for their consistency, and that one, the ping just edged forwards.
Yeah.
Where the other two stood out for what they potentially can do, and then I'm just going to try and live the dream and do that as much as I can. So I'll be honest with you, it would be really hard to pick out of those. I would want to dial into the two, like the ball speeds and distances that these two would be able to give me, and maybe hope that I can do that more often. But then my coach might just say, can you stop doing that? Can you just use the solid one? What do you think?
I'm using Callaway because it hit 330 down the fairway. Callaway? No, I do think that Titleist has stood up well to all the others. TaylorMade, looks-wise, I think selling to a lot of people.
Yeah, marketing as well. You got all these players that they're paying to use it.
All the top guys,
it works. It totally works.
They've done that well, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that there's an outstanding one that you're just going to pick. It's going to be totally on the consumer.
Yeah, you have to choose. I think it stands up, but again, as in most of our tests, I'm just so impressed with how this one quietly goes about being
very quiet.
It's like its performance is
Why don't they just shout a bit louder?
I just don't think it's their style, and they're happy to engineer. I think that's what makes them happy.
Yeah.
I don't think they go into work going, how can we trick people into thinking we're brilliant today?
Do you think if they had a bad year they'd shout?
No, I don't, because Ping have had bad years. They've had bad years. They were Ping irons or everything, and then they just went, and they didn't really shout any louder. They just kept trying to produce clubs. What was funny, that when they went in those years, the actual club they produced was probably one of the best performing irons that was made at that time. It just looked weird, which made people not buy it. So they did then regress more to more classic shapes. So they kind of quietly shouted by going, okay, we'll give you what you want, but we'll still try and engineer as good as we can. I don't know. Pick comments down below. What do you reckon? Did that stand up to the modern ones? What do you gain? Would you change? Would you consider changing? And let me know in the comments, what did you think of the strokes gained? Do you want to see more of that? Because I think we're going to be doing a lot more of that.